officially welcome. Welcome to 2022. And I hope this is going to be a very, healthy, happy new year for all of you. And the energy behind doing these 108s is it's not meant to kill you, okay? It is not meant to be overly hard, but it is meant to kind of prove to you that you can sign up for something, set a commitment, and follow it all the way through. Okay, so there's this element of kind of showing up for yourself. But having said that, you guys, I know some of you are working with injuries, you're working with different things in your body. You may not practice sun salutations all of the time. So I want you to also know that you have permission to, if you have to take a child's pose, if you have to take an extra rest, please go ahead and do that. All right. So yeah, this is not meant to kill you. I want you to be able to enjoy the rest of your Sunday, the rest of your weekend, and also continue to be able to practice throughout the rest of the year. At one point, we were doing these and I was doing them as both A's and B's, and people were getting injured on their first practice of the year and not able to practice for another month. So this is just saying this. So take your time. This is what today's class looks like. We do 108. 108 is a very auspicious number in the kind of yoga lineage, right? It represents the 108 Upanishads. So we tap into that kind of ancient lineage as we practice and flow here today. The 108, I break it down into 12 sections, right? Each one with 9 sun A's in each one. But then I break that down into 4 pods, okay? So we'll do 3 rounds, and then we're gonna take a little break and do like a malasana to make sure that you're not building up pressure in your low back, okay? Then we're gonna do the second pod, and we'll take some Uttanasanas, some forward folds, to make sure your hamstrings are not tightening up on you. And then we'll take a twist, and then we'll finish up. So I'm telling you this because there are kind of pressure points within the body that I want you to be cognizant of. Your wrists, so if at any point you need to stop and check out your wrists a little bit, your low back because of all the hinging, and every time that we come up, I want you to make sure that you're using your glutes and lightly engaging your core to protect your low back, and be very generous with the bending of your knees. Okay, so I think that's kind of all the, just take care of yourself type things that we do. And then before and after every section, I'm going to give you kind of something to think about, like these little categories that I think if you focused on these 12 things throughout the course of your year and really tried to like invest in it and grow it, we don't lose sight of the kind of forest, right? We sometimes we get so caught up in our daily lives that we get involved in our little tasks, and we kind of forget like the bigger picture of our lives. So we'll have these little pockets where we journal. So if you would like, could you please pick up your journal and actually write down some of the things that went really well for you in 2021, okay? I know that good, happy things did happen for you. Maybe you changed a habit, maybe you learned a new skill, maybe you connected with someone. So these 108 are not just about, right, the future, but it's building on our past learnings and focusing on really what you already are doing well. right? And as begin this process, if I don't give you enough time, right, you could always just make a little note and feel free to go back and kind of flush this out and add more to it. It can be kind of a constantly evolving list for you. And then once you've written down some successes that you had, some things that went really well for you in 2021, I would like you to make your way into child's pose at the back of your mats. Folding in here. So child's pose, rounding out over your thighs and folding in. So go ahead and fold in child's pose. Yeah, drop down and in child's pose. Okay. Okay, so these first few breaths, everyone, right? It's to remind yourself, right, of this sense of svadhyaya. Svadhyaya means self-awareness, self-knowledge. And really using this practice today to maybe reveal or have some insights about where you are and how you're going to approach the new year. So I'd like to start us with a quote. Your present circumstances don't determine where you can go. They merely determine where you start. So we check in, we see where we are, and then we use that self-knowledge to decide where to go from here. Inhale. Exhale for 1. Inhale. Exhale for 2. Breathe in. And breathe out for 3. Arms extend forward, lift up into tabletop position. Okay, and then rotate your fingertips out to the side towards the long edges of your mat. And then please continue to rotate your fingertips all the way back. Okay, so like I said, wrists can be a little bit sensitive, so I want to make sure that we get those prepared for practice here. Tuck your toes under, and on an inhale, pull the shoulders down away from your ears and broaden across your chest, coming into cow pose. And then as you press into the tops of your feet, chin to chest, and round back into cat. Just a few more times. Inhale, pull that forward. Exhale, press down through the fingertips, press down through the center of your shin bones as you round for cats. One more. Inhale forward. Yep, looking up, and exhale, rounding in. Coming back to a neutral flat spine, and as you turn your fingertips forward, tuck toes, inhale, turn the sitting bones up towards the ceiling. Cow pose as you push your hips up and back into your first downward facing dog. Okay. Yep. Pedal that out. Okay, and we're really going to use the breath to help drop us into the present moment. And the more present you are, you guys, the better we can align our actions and our movements to what we want those kind of core values to be, the things that we really want to focus on. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, step your right foot forward up in between your hands for a lunge. Okay, being on fingertips, and then lower that back left knee down. Okay, stretching into the front of the hip, chest is up. And then press back into tabletop position. So I just want to remind you that sometimes maybe instead of going from plank to a chaturanga to an up dog, you could just instead simply drop to the knees, inhale forward, take a cow pose instead of going to up dog if it gets to be too much, and then push your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Okay, just going to offer you like a few variations to really remind you to make this your own practice. And then left foot steps forward up in between your hands for a lunge. Yep, back right knee down. Push from right toes, lift chest. Inhale here. And exhale, push that back. Tabletop position. Inhale, forward cow pose. Rotate through the hips, feed the spine, and hips lift. Up and back, downward facing dog. And then from there, please step forward to the top of your mat. Okay, feet are hip width distance apart. Take your hands to your shins. Inhale, open. And exhale, fold in. Hands to hips, elbows up, half flat back, pause. And so this is a place that I would like to highlight before we get started, right? I do keep my knees bent. I make sure that I put a lot of focus into the back of the hips. You're bracing in through core. And then from there, you hinge. Excellent. Folding your hands in front of your heart center. Pausing and closing your eyes. This first set number 1, it's actually going to be dedicated to breath. Right? I think that our breath it's the only thing we have in the moment. It tells us so much about where we are in our lives, how our nervous system is, whether we're calm and relaxed, whether we're clear and focused. And what I want to remind you of is that your breath also represents your ability to just step into the flow of your life, right? That pranic movement, to not feel that you're like resisting your life or wishing that it was some way different or better, right? It's just as it is right now, enjoying what you have in the moment. So together, please inhale. Exhale, and we'll Om together. Inhale fully. Om. Releasing your hands. And on an inhale, full stretch, arms reach up. Exhale, bend knees, fold in, Uttanasana. Inhale, look forward, half flat back. For this first one, please step your left foot back into a lunge, reminding you that at any point you guys can step these back, and then knee at the top of the push-up plank pose. From the top of the push-up plank pose, lower your knees down to the mat, and begin to bend your elbows to bring the center of the thigh, the tops of the thighs, the pubic bone, and the belly button down onto the floor. Press down through the tops of your feet, wrap your elbows in. Inhale, cobra pose, right? So you do not need to do full up dogs. You could modify with cobras. You could modify with cat-cow pose. And then release to press back, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. So we will not be holding for long in our down dogs, right? We're going to press back into down dog, and you're going to take a full long inhale, lengthening out that inhale breath. Find a little pause. Exhale deeply. letting go. And as you exhale there, step your left foot forward up in between your hands, lunge. Good. Back foot steps forward, feet are hip width distance apart. Hands to shins, inhale, open, and exhale, fold in, drop head. Hands to hips, elbows up, flat back. Remember the power of your glutes as you lift to rise. And release. One, only 107 left to go. Inhale, reach, plug down through the feet. Exhale, bend knees, fold in, Uttanasana. Inhale, look forward, half flat back. Step your right foot deeply back into the lunge. As you plant your palms, find the top of your push-up. Okay, so from the top of the push-up, you could either put your knees down, like I showed in that last one, or you could bend your elbows and come straight down in one piece. Press through the tops of the feet. Inhale, open, cobra. And exhale, push hips up and back, downward facing dog. So I really want to give you time to start to find the rhythm of this breath. Inhale. Can you lengthen it out and find the little pause at the top of the inhale? And then exhale, letting that symbolize kind of letting go. When you empty fully, step right foot forward up in between your hands into the lunge. And then back foot steps forward to meet it. Use your inhale breath, lengthen the spine through the crown of the head. And exhale, fold in, Uttanasana. Hands to hips, elbows up, flat back, and lift to rise. Now we start to add on a little bit faster. Reach, inhale, fold, exhale. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Exhale, step back, elbows in, squeeze the kneecaps to tone your legs. And as you bend your elbows, Chaturanga. Inhale, pull forward, upward facing dog. Hips lift, up and back, downward facing dog. Okay, so I wanted to choose breath, you guys, as our first one because we can go days without eating, right? We can go a long time without drinking anything, but we cannot go very long in our lives without, right, our breath. So let it really start to infuse your practice. Exhale fully. And step forward, top of your sticky mat. Hands to shins, inhale, open. Exhale, fold in. Hands to hips, elbows up, flat back. And now lift to rise. 3, we're gonna start to go really traditional. Hands up, inhale, that's 1. Exhale, fold in, 2. Inhale, look forward, half flat back, 3. Exhale, step back, lower halfway, Chaturanga, 4. Inhale, pull forward, up dog, 5. Roll over toes, hips up and back, down dog, 6. You stay for that one breath as you inhale. Exhale fully. And at the bottom of that exhale, step forward. Continue to lengthen as you inhale, 7. Exhale, deep fold, hinging at the hips, 8. Now circle your arms all the way around as you lift to rise, 9. And release. Okay, one more time, I'm gonna count that out. A Sun A has 9 breaths. Inhale, reach, 1. Exhale, fold in, 2. Inhale, half flat back, 3. Exhale, take your time as you move through that yoga push-up, 4. Inhale, pull forward, up dog, that's 5. Rich, deep breathing, exhale, hips press, up and back, downward facing dog for 6. Take your time, inhale, feel the breath fill all the way into the bottom of the lungs, and then exhale fully. Step forward, top of your mat, inhale, that's 7. Exhale, let it all the way go, 8. Circle around as you lift to rise, looking up, stretching up, 9, and release. Tadasana. See if you can find that rhythm. Inhale up. Use your breath, follow that flow, that fold in, exhale. Inhale, lengthen, pulling the shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, step back, use the foundation of your feet and the hands to push the floor. As you pull forward, inhale, up dog. Hips up and back, good job, you guys, downward facing dog. Grip through the fingertips, remember to keep the weight out of the wrists. Use the bottom of that exhale to empty fully, and then step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Use an inhale to rise all the way up. And release. Tadasana here. Okay, inhale, lengthen. This is number 7. Exhale, hinge, hips high, head low, fold in. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. You guys, for this first set, we're just going to continue to step it out, right? So you step it out so that you really make sure that you're moving mindfully, right? Continue to check in. Starting to let the breath, right, get kind of louder than any of those thoughts that you were having before we started the practice. And step forward, stay in that movement. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, drop in. So keep grounding yourself through the power of your breath. Inhale, lift all the way to rise. And exhale, release, right? Kind of get carried away on the rhythm of your breath, reaching up here. Exhale, folding in. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Continue with the step. Squeezing the inner ankles, the inner knees, the inner thighs to the midline, and then from the pelvic floor, lift up through the center of the heart, through the crown of the head, and hips up and back, downward facing dog. Okay, so this pranic cycle in your life, right? Like this beginning, this middle, this end, like honoring the end of last year, the beginning of the new year. Right, and it's all kind of captured in the breath. So it's a constant reminder for you, right, to kind of honor all those different cycles that you're going through, and then step forward to the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Arms reach out, plug down through legs as you inhale, lift to rise, maybe a little toning of your glutes for support, and release. This is number 9, you guys. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend knees, fold in. Inhale, look forward, half flat back. Step back to the top of your push-up, elbows in. It's a tricep push-up as you hug the arm bones in close to the ribs to lift up here. Nice, and roll over your toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, press. Exhale, fully stretch that out. You should be getting a little warmer. Step forward to the top of your mat. Hands to shins. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, maybe you start to help yourself a little bit deeper into your forward folds. And then circle your arms all the way around and up. And release. Okay, good. So hopefully a little breath work. And then right at the end of every 9 of these, you're going to come down. And you're gonna grab your piece of paper. Okay, you guys look like you're doing well. Don't forget, you can always do those little modifies, okay? So the big thing about this series, you guys, is to focus on not really thinking like what you wanna change in your life necessarily, but like what can you influence, right? What can you start to pay more attention to? So that first pod, where in your life, and I just want you to write it down, could you commit to pausing and taking 5 deep breaths? So, for instance, I have committed to before I brush my teeth, right? It's part of that habit stacking. Before I brush my teeth, I pause, I look at myself in the mirror, I take 5 deep breaths. I brush my teeth both in the morning and at night. Sometimes there's a third one in there. But it's this way of committing to the importance of my breath, to that slowing down, all that reminding, like to step into the flow of your life and to be present. It could be before you answer the phone. It could be some of you, I know you maybe drive to work, like before you step into the car. Where could you commit to taking 5 deep breaths, okay? Now, the second pod, right? So these are things that I'm gonna want you to focus on in 2022. I'm gonna want you to get better connected to your breath. The second pod, I want you to think about like your health, movement, wellness diet. And when I say diet, I'm not talking about the food that you eat, okay? I'm talking about how are you sleeping? Are you getting rest? Are you drinking enough water? What are you doing with screen time? Do you need a digital detox? Okay. So we have 4 buckets. And I know like Pia and Zubair heard me talk about this a lot this summer, and IDEM too. You have 4 buckets. So if for this next round of these, do you need to pay more attention to your physical bucket? Do you need to pay more attention to your emotional bucket, right? Are you not listening to your feelings? Are you suppressing them? Are you ignoring them? Do you need to focus on your mental, right? Is there something you need some clarity around? And then finally, that spiritual bucket. So what would give your life this overall feeling, like you guys eat a healthy diet, right? But how could you improve your overall movement, spiritual wellness diet this year? Okay. There's a lot of different ways that you could do this, a lot of different things that you could commit to. My big one these days, you guys, is going to be this kind of like dopamine detox, right? Getting away from screens a little bit more. Put a note if you don't have time to finish, maybe you come back and you flush this out a little bit deeper and make your way forward to the top of your mat. So we're going to layer, right? You're going to layer. You have the breath. You've already kind of infused that into your practice. Hands fold in front of your heart. Close your eyes. And right, I'm not saying that you need to change your life or make like big dramatic, or that you've been doing something wrong. It's just starting to pay attention to what can you start to have a little bit more influence in? Where can you bring that self-knowledge and awareness? Inhale. Exhale, release hands and arms reach up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold in Uttanasana. Inhale, look forward, half flat back. Exhale, and as you bend elbows, Chaturanga. Inhale, pull forward, up dog. Hips lift, up and back, downward facing dog. So one of my big ones, you guys, is I'm committing to taking my multivitamins like regularly now. It's going to become kind of a morning ritual to make sure that I'm adding in like my vitamin D's, my vitamin B12. So maybe there's something on that front that you want to look at. Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold in. Arms reach around and up as you lift to right. Urdhva Hastasana, meaning extended hand pose. And exhale, release. 1. Inhale, reach. Take the breath with you. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Exhale, step back and lower slow. Inhale, pull forward, Urdhva Mukha, upward facing, hips up and back, Adho Mukha, downward facing. So when we look at like this movement, wellness, overall health, diet, right? Do you need to add in more variety? Is there something that you could eliminate? Is there something that you could take out of your life that would slowly start to make you feel more vibrant and alive? Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Press down through the feet as you reach around and lift to rise. Exhale, release. Tadasana. 2. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Get a little more rhythm here. Excellent. Inhale, look forward, half flat back. Step back and lower slow, Chaturanga. Don't forget to push the tops of the hands into the bottoms of the hands as you straighten the arms, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Okay, and so another thing, you guys, that I put on my list of things that it will help just kind of round out my health and wellness is to catch as many sunsets as I can, right? So this doesn't have to be like food that you eat or getting more exercise. It's like, what other ways could you enrich your life? Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, root to rise. Come on up using the glutes. 3. Continue here. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Power the movement with your breath. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step back, lower slow, Chaturanga. Inhale, use your upper back muscles to open your chest, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Okay, so I'm just trying to give you guys some ideas. Like I have on my list, go to as many sound bath healing activities that I can find. Maybe some of you need to commit to doing some more like body work, like carving out time to go get a massage, right? All these different ways that you can take care of yourself physically, emotionally, and mentally. Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Continue to flow as you inhale, reach to rise. And that's 4. Inhale up. Exhale, continue to let your breath get louder. If your thoughts start to creep in, inhale, lengthen. And step back, bend elbows, lower slow. Inhale, Urdhva side ribs pull forward as your arm bones draw back and push your hips up and back. So when I think about this pod, I think about what are the things that I could do that will help me achieve like more peace of mind, like more steadiness. And a lot of times it means I need to get to bed a little bit earlier, so I wake up more fresh. Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale here. Don't forget to kind of squeeze the feet together. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, pressing the tailbone down. Lift all the way to rise and release. 5, only 4 more to go. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold in. Let the head hang heavy. Release tension out of your neck. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Step back and bend your elbows. Inhale, widen all the way out to the corners of your shoulders, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Okay, so what are you already doing right in your wellness, movement, health, diet, and what could you try to influence a little bit more? Right, is there one of these categories that you really neglect? Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, let's let the head hang and really press the hips up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lift all the way to rise. You guys got this. And release that. 6 and 3 more. Inhale, reach. Exhale, dive in, fold. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Step back and Chaturanga Tadasana. Inhale, pull forward, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Right, so like piano, one of the things that like I tried to incorporate into my life this year is more of like these like ice plunges, ice baths, right? Trying to just try all the different ways, this kind of like biohacking that we can just live more fully, more vibrantly in our lives. And then you step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold in. Arms reach out or rounding up as you lift to rise. And release, Tadasana. Okay, last 2, inhale. And so you're kind of committing to what you could do just with a little bit more mindfulness this year. Inhale, look forward, half flat back. Step back and bend elbows, lower slow. Inhale, pull forward, Urdhva. And hips up and back, downward facing dog. So one of the reasons why we do these, you guys, is so we can kind of look at the different patterns that we have in our lives. We can start to recognize what we're doing a lot of, what we could do more of. And so you're just kind of taking note, paying attention, and seeing where your life could be enriched by concentrating on these buckets a little bit more. Step forward, top of your mat, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold, and really find the inner edges of your feet. Nice, inhale, lift to rise, and then exhale, release. And so really on this last one, right, number 9, you guys, I think you've got the idea. How could you enrich your life? How could you influence it, whether it's your sleep, your screen time, and you kind of dedicate yourself to making that positive shift. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold in. Uttanasana, tone the legs, lift the kneecaps, get the power from there. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. And step back, top of your push-up as you bend your elbows, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, hips up and back, Adho Mukha. So that's your inhale. Exhale, let that exhale kind of symbolizing letting go if something is not in line with that kind of health and wellness and movement diet, leaving that here. Step forward, top of your mat, inhale, lengthen. And exhale, drop head, fold in. Lift to rise, right? So the inhale, it's got this floating effect as you kind of emerge up and out of the fold, and release. 2 sets done. Nice job. Okay, so you've got your breath. You've got this health, movement, diet, taking care of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally. And now, set number 3. I have this labeled as your roots. And I have it divided for myself when I think about my roots as 2 separate categories. I have it focused on like my physical home. Okay. Do you feel at home in your space? Are you comfortable? Is it clean? Is it organized? Is there anything that you could do in your personal space, your home, right? That would, like, I have this listed, you guys, as, is there something do you need to clean out some old files? Do you need to organize your desk? Do you need to go through and clean out your closet, right? This pod is about, if we want to make room for new things, we kind of have to clear out some space in our lives, okay? So is there some big cleaning you need to do, something you need to get rid of? I know it might not seem like a big deal, but like, are there little things in your house that are broken or that need to be replaced? Okay, like in my bathroom, there is this cupboard door and it falls off every single time. And these are little areas in our lives where we need to, it's indicative of like how we take care of ourselves, how we take care of our home. So is there any little thing that you could fix, could organize? And then the second one, you guys, your physical home, but then also your tribe, right? Your family, the things that you need for your essence, your survival, right? Is there one of those relationships that you need to reinvest into to really ground yourself, to nurture and to find your roots? Okay. So if we can feel more stable in our homes and more stable in our tribe, our family, like our home, our jobs, right? It's this nice springboard. It's this foundation, this stepping stone into the new year. I want you to feel like when you come home, it is a very safe, enjoyable space for you to be. Okay. And then when you're ready, step forward, top of your mat, hands fold in front of your heart. So your body is your temple. Your body is your home. And so it starts there, from the bones to the muscles, to the skin, to the breath, to your intention. We do this to take care of our physical bodies, our physical homes, and the people to which we consider our family that help us to feel grounded. dedicating this pod to your roots. Inhale. Exhale, release your hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half flat back. Now, if you would like to begin to jump to your chaturanga, that is a possibility as you inhale, lift up. And please press your hips up and back, downward facing dog. And so as you move through this set, you guys, do you know, right? Is home a feeling for you? Is home a person? Is home a particular place? And is there a way that you could kind of increase that feeling of, right, that safety, that security, when we really know what home means to us? Look forward. Now it's your choice. Step or jump, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold in. Root down, rise up. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, release, Tadasana. Continuing here. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Exhale, Chaturanga, Dandasana. Inhale, pull forward, up dog. Hips lift, up and back, downward facing dog. Okay, so this time of year for me, it is a big time for like decluttering, right? To get rid of the things. I tend to go through like my photo albums on my phone and get rid of pictures or organize and categorize, right? I definitely clean up my closet. So are there some things you could do to have less clutter in your life so that your energy doesn't go to those things and you can really refocus on what's important to you? Look forward, step or jump, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Squeeze the legs together as you inhale, lift all the way to rise. And release, Tadasana, mountain pose, right? Like stable and grounded in your body. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold in. Keep flowing. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Step or jump, Chaturanga. Just because you jumped once doesn't mean you have to continue to jump. You could always choose to step it back as we push the hips up and back. Find your roots, right? Your hands and your feet connecting down, feeling stable. And land at the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Reach out, lift all the way to rise. And release, Tadasana. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half flat back. Exhale, Chaturanga, Dandasana. Inhale, pull forward, Urdhva. Hips lift, up and back, Otto. Heels down, sitting bones up. Right, maybe even shaking out your head a little bit here, kind of clearing out the thoughts. And land at the top of your mat. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Circle around and up, lift to rise. And release. Okay. Continue at the top of your mat. Every time you step back in, this is your home, this is your body. As you move, you take care of it. Inhale, half flat back. And step or float, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva. And hips up and back, Otto. Right, you guys, because if we don't feel safe, secure, and comfortable in our bodies, in our homes, right, in your house, your apartment, wherever you are, it's really hard to focus on other aspects of our lives. These are your roots and you want to make sure you nourish them. Look forward and step or jump, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Lift to rise, inhale. And drop the shoulders away from your ears, reach down through fingertips. Tadasana, continue, inhale. Long, slow breath, exhale. Start to get more into the back body. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Step or float, Chaturanga. Inhale, press the shoulder blades down the back as you lift your heart. Nice Zubair, press hips up and back, downward facing dog. And so I think one of the right? The biggest realizations that I've had this year is just how much like home is actually for me, it's really a feeling. It's not necessarily a place. And it's usually having certain people around me in my life that makes me feel steady and at home. Look forward, step or jump. Inhale, lengthen, extending out through the crown of the head. And exhale, fold in. Reach around, lift all the way to rise. Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, fold or release, Tadasana. 5. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, open. Exhale, push the hands into the floor. Chaturanga. Inhale, shoulder blades back down and together as you lift your heart. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. And so all these different ways that you can work to nurture your connection. Step forward as you lengthen and exhale, fold in. Lift to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, release, Tadasana. You guys, we only have 3 more here in this set. Reach up and out. Exhale, pubic bone goes back between your inner thighs as you fold. Inhale to open. Yeah, chest pulls forward and you can always switch. I'm gonna step, Chaturanga. Find your low push-up. Inhale, up dog. Hips lift, up and back, downward facing dog. Right, so I really like in New York at one point, there was something called like the broken window theory, right? And so if you kind of like let little things in your life like get broken or you don't take care of them, they kind of start to have this like snowballing effect. So this set, it's really dedicated to fixing those small little things in your home and your body before they kind of get out of control. Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, maybe you can start to squeeze in a little bit more, clearing out. Circle the arms around and up as you lift to rise. And exhale, release. Last one here. Inhale. Open your home, your temple, your body, taking care of it as you fold. Inhale, half flat back. Exhale, press. Chaturanga, good job. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Hips lift. Up and back, Adho Mukha. Okay, so a lot of you will recognize what I'm talking about, home and connection and body and that physical nourishing of your roots as your first chakra, right? What everything else is energetically built on in your life. Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen, Ardha Uttanasana, half flat back. Exhale, fold in, Uttanasana from here. Circle your arms out around and up as you lift all the way to rise. And release, Tadasana. Okay, take your feet a little bit wider, you guys, as wide as your mat. And then please drop down and low and into Malasana. Okay, so far it kind of looks like everyone's doing okay. You've got those first 3 sets done, hips heavy, heart high. If at any point you start to feel pressure in your low back, you might want to skip like a downward facing dog and take an extra Malasana. Inhale. And exhale. Great. Release. And good news, we go on to the next page. So 1 page is done. Set number 4. Okay. What is your relationship with like intimacy and boundaries? So what I have written on my paper here is, where can you say no more, to who or what? But then also, when you say no to something, like you're going to stop either thinking that way, believing that way, acting that way. You actually have more time and energy to say yes to other things in your life. So for me, a lot of times it's saying no to a way of self-talking, right? Is there someone else here? It's meant, There we go. Sorry. Keeps, okay. Right. Because I have as a big word for myself, how do you guys feel about this word of like kind of self-abandonment? Right? Like how often do you kind of lose what's important to you because you're saying yes to other people? And every time we kind of self-abandon, then we don't have that time to really do the things in our lives that light us up. Hi, and I'm sorry, I did not see that. We'll catch you up afterwards. And last thing I'll say about this, and what is your, so for me, intimacy, boundaries, a lot of this relationship, you guys, is how willingness, like your willingness to be vulnerable, right? To tell someone that like you can't meet their expectations. So for me, around this word of like intimacy and boundaries, I can't tell you how much it actually is about courage. I know that might sound weird, but it's like the courage to tell someone no, or the courage to stop believing like old thought patterns. Okay. I have written down, how can you be a better self-advocate? Like no one, right? If you give somebody something, they're going to ask for more. It's just kind of human nature. But how can you commit and let people, right, their expectations stay on one side and be not self-sabotaging, but really your self-advocate for what you need this year? Okay. And I can always send these lists to you guys too, if you want it after class. Step forward to the top of your mats and fold your hands in front of your heart center. Okay. So I have written down, it's a quote, the last thing I want you to see in me is the first thing that I look for in you. Meaning, right, that I don't want to be vulnerable to other people, but I want them to be open with me, right? So instead, can we kind of change that and be like, I'm going to stand open and vulnerable, right? But I'm going to stand in it strongly, knowing what my boundaries are. Set 4, release your hands. Inhale, open. Back into breath, exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Exhale, I'm going to step this first one out, Chaturanga. Inhale, pull forward, up dog. Hips lift, up and back, downward facing dog. And so what I realize, you guys, is when I don't kind of stand up for myself, or when I kind of don't hold up, right, my boundaries, then I end up kind of really shutting down to everything. So this set is really about that commitment to stay clear and stay open to what really kind of lights up your life, to what you need more of. Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold in. Reach out, lift to rise. Inhale. And exhale, that's number 1. Here we go. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Lengthen, half flat back. Step back. The first couple, I just like to step as we get back into warming up here. And then hips up and back, downward facing dog. And so what I find in my own life is I end up saying yes to so many little things, like so many little tasks, so many little busy things, that then I actually don't have time for the things that are actually, or the people that are actually more important. And so that's what we mean by kind of like holding up that boundaries, knowing your ability to say when to say no, and actually when to say yes. Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Root to rise. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, release. Tadasana. 2. And open. Start to ride that wave of your breath as you exhale, fold in strongly. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Now, as you're ready, maybe you step or jump. Inhale, Urdhva. Exhale, hips lift, auto. Right, and so I'm sure you've had that happen to you guys, right? Like you've committed to something, and maybe it's something that you didn't even really want to do, and then someone else asks you, and you're like, oh man, I would love to do that, but I already committed to this. So it's paying attention to this year to like who and what you commit to, what you give your time and energy for. Look forward, step or jump, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Lift all the way to rise. Inhale, please reach up, and exhale, 3. Surya Namaskar A. Remember, it's 9 breaths as you reach up, and exhale, fold in. Lengthen, half flat back. Really make sure that you're pushing the floor as you lower. Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva. Exhale, hips up and back. Auto. It's a deep breath in. And exhale, fully. Step or float, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Press down, reach out, lift to rise. And release. So remember that word for me, at least in this one, it's about that courage. Inhale, reaching up, exhale, fold in, because sometimes I know I'm going to disappoint people. They're going to be a little bit upset. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, press, float, fold. Inhale, Urdhva, exhale, hips up and back. Auto, right? Like we know that maybe if we tell someone no, or we can't attend, they might be a little bit disappointed. But what it does, you guys, is that then we don't have like this blame or this resentment, because we're staying really true to ourselves. That's what this pod is, or this set is about. Look forward and land, top of your sticky mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Lift all the way to rise. Inhale up. Exhale. 4 more. Inhale, maybe the feet start to draw together more. Exhale, fold, and you're getting right into the heart of the practice now. Inhale, open. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva. Connect the legs to the spine. Lengthen out through the crown of the head as you push your hips up and back, down dog. It's a breath in, and it's a full breath out. Land at the top of your mat. Inhale, long spine. Keep extending as you press your thigh bones back, and fold and reach out, lift all the way to rise. And release. 3 more. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. So this one, get rid of like old thought patterns, old ways of being. Just because you said yes or no in the past, right? You can always change as you lift up and press back. And so that's one of the reasons, you guys, that we did the set about having your roots first, right? When you know kind of what grounds you, what's important to you, then it's easier to make decisions in line with that. Look forward. Land at the top of your mat. Inhale, open. And hollow out the belly. Squeeze in through core as you fold. Push down, root all the way to rise. Inhale up. And exhale, release. You're almost there. Inhale, open. Deep breathing. Exhale, fold. Right? So inhale, we kind of stay open. And then that exhale presses you lower, is getting rid of, right? Maybe some old boundaries, some things that are no longer serving you as you press up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, lifting the spine out of the shoulders. Land at the top of your mat. Inhale, open. And exhale, fold. Press down, lift all the way to rise. Release. This last one, number 9, I have, right? What makes you vulnerable makes you beautiful, right? Whenever anyone has been vulnerable to me in their lives, like I've appreciated them so much more, and it makes them seem beautiful to me. And so that's what this last one is about. Can you have the courage to stay vulnerable and to say what you need to people? Inhale, reach. Exhale, drop your head, fold in. Inhale, look forward, half flat back. Exhale, press, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva, squeeze the shoulder blades together, so keep your heart open. Hips lift, downward facing dog. Right, so commitment to staying open, to holding what's important to you. Step or jump, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Reach around, and as you lift to rise, it's that commitment to be a self-advocate, staying committed to what you need. Tadasana. Excellent. Number 4, done. We're starting to go a little bit faster as we get warmed up. Yeah, so that can be a good idea, right? To put on a sweatshirt in between. And right, doesn't that make sense? That if I'm so busy saying yes to things that I don't like to do, it means I don't have to actually focus on the things that really do light up my life. Number 5, I have written down mental growth and my meditation muscles. Okay, so this year, is there a project that you need to finish? We have to close that stuff out. So first, is there something that you have started that you need to finish, that you need to follow through with? And then I have written, please learn something new this year. I don't care, is it a book, right? And there's plenty of wonderful people on this call, right, who could recommend books to you. There's podcasts. And why this one is so important, you guys, is because we learn, we adapt, we revise, and then we grow. It's like this constant cycle, right? And sometimes we get caught in starting something, like getting a little bit curious, but not following all the way through with it, right? So it's like when you pick something up, you've got to go through the entire kind of growth phase. So some things maybe to inspire you here, right? We cannot become what we want by remaining where we are. So is there a new skill? Someone that you could connect with, right? That would really help you to grow your mind, to continue to expand, okay? And then I have written down here, growth is often very uncomfortable. It can be very messy, and it can be full of feelings that we actually don't expect, but it is one of the best ways for self-knowledge. It is always when I'm learning that I'm looking at like, oh, that's where I got frustrated, or this is where I have a tendency to give up, or this is where I'm actually able to really follow through with myself, okay? So maybe put down on your list, like not only for me, a lot of times like that mental growth is like, what could you create in your life? Right? A lot of times a new skill is learning to create something. What could you create? And my last question to myself is, what is something that I've been doing in this terms of like growth where maybe I failed once and I gave myself a second chance, but where could you give yourself a third chance, a fourth chance, a fifth chance? Like, is there something in your life that even though it hasn't been going perfectly so far, you're going to say, I'm not going to quit, and maybe I'm going to do it 1,000 times more this year, but I'm going to continue to learn and grow that like muscle. Okay. And step forward, top of your mat. This is number 5. Okay. Folding your hands in front of your heart center. If you want to meditate more, maybe it's not saying that you're going to meditate for 30 minutes 3 times a day. Maybe it's, are there things that you need to grow and learn from that you want to break down into just smaller steps? You're going to meditate for 5 minutes. You're going to read 1 book, right? Don't make it something exaggerated. Make it something that you can really commit to and follow through with. Okay, so hands at the front of the heart. So for me, this like mental growth, this meditation muscle is not only about wanting to do it, but following through with it to the very end. Release your hands. Inhale, open. Catch in with your breath. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. So you look forward, you lengthen, you keep that length. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Hips lift, up and back, downward facing dog. So this is where I ask myself, like, do I turn away from something because the learning process is a little bit difficult or it's a little bit messy? And you keep picking it up over and over again until it becomes something that you like really own, a quality or skill that you have. Look forward, land at the top of your mat. Inhale, open, and exhale, fold. Inhale, lift all the way to rise. And exhale, release. Continue here, open. Fold, hinge in, Uttanasana. Inhale, look forward, half flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, press. Inhale, strong, straight arms, up dog. Hips lift, up and back. Downward facing dog, that quality, that ability to keep starting again in your life, right? That courage. Courage was from the last one. I think it's kind of like that resiliency actually is what I'm talking about. The resiliency to keep getting up and trying again. Look forward, step or jump, top of your mat. Inhale to open and exhale, fold. Reach out, lift your eyes. Strong through the legs to lift the spine. Open here and Tadasana. 2. Inhale. Exhale, let your breath help set your pace, what you need. Inhale, half flat back. Exhale, Chaturanga. And so even maybe it's like stepping, you guys, taking into smaller little bites here as you push your hips up and back, downward facing dog. And so this one is actually, it really is about repetition, doing things over and over and staying present and interested in that process. Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Yep, there we go. Belly button draws in. Make sure you're protecting your low back as you fold. Inhale, lift all the way to rise. And exhale, release. Open. And fold. Half flat back. Keep looking forward, step or jump, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva. Exhale, lift hips, roll over toes, Adho. There we go. So looking at the screen, you guys, giving you a little bit of encouragement. Nice job at pegs. Here we go. And press, stay with it. Continue, step or float, top of your mat. Inhale, open. Exhale, lift the kneecap, squeeze the legs, fold in. Lift all the way to rise. And release, Tadasana. Flow, right? Just let them keep rolling one after the other. Keep building that muscle through repetition and step or jump. Inhale, open. Exhale, hips up and back. Right? So what comes to you, what flows to you, what could you work on creating more skill, more learning in your life this year? Float forward, top of your mat. Inhale, open. There we go. Exhale, nice. Exhale, fold in. Root down, lift all the way to rise. And Tadasana, you're getting there. Inhale. And exhale, notice maybe where the mind skips out. And so that's a lot of this, you guys, this pod, resiliency, endurance, that ability to keep coming back when you want to wander off your path. Staying on it here, following through all the way. And from your down dog, top of your sticky mat, inhale, open. Exhale, fold, nice and in, plug down. Inhale, lift all the way to rise. And release, continue. Ujjayi breathing as you stretch up and push into the floor, hips high. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Exhale, Chaturanga, Tadasana. Use the back body to open the front body. Hips lift, up and back, downward facing dog. Press your thigh bones back, looks good. It's here, and step or jump. Top of your mat, inhale, open. And exhale, fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Keep stretching up, keep reaching out, and release. Last 2. Pull the feet, the knees, the upper thighs together, and exhale, fold. Inhale, open, lengthen, and exhale, Chaturanga. So this is your set, you guys, for your mind, right? To nourish that aspect in your life, right? To be that kind of process of constantly learning and growing. Float, top of your mat, step if you need to. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Plug down, lift all the way to rise. Release, Tadasana, right? So number 9, I really mean it. Like there's many things I've started in my life, I've tried to grow, but then I quit. And so this mental kind of resiliency is about following all the way through. Last one, inhale up, exhale, complete, fold in. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Plant your hands, Chaturanga, good job. Inhale, shoulder blades down and back. And hips lift. And if you guys ever have learned a new skill or followed through or like completed a task that's been hanging out, right? There's a really good, like when you finish these, you guys, there's gonna have that feeling of kind of like being proud of yourself, right? Committed, that feeling of completion. Look forward, float, top of your mat. Inhale, open, and exhale, fold in. Right, push down. This is all about like tying up those loose ends and learning something new. Release. Good job. So this is set number 6. If you guys are gonna have water, take a little sips, right? Like nothing too big. You don't want all that in your stomach. So number 6. So far, you guys, these have all been kind of about you. I want to change gears for this number 6. And I want to talk about the environment. Okay. So what is your role in it? I think in this day and age that if we're not aware of, yoga is about our connectedness to like the global community, right? What is your role in the environment? What could you do this year, right? How could you be more eco-friendly? What are you currently doing to help? And could you do more? And you guys, I mean, it can be things like, I don't know, you're not going to use plastic straws anymore or plastic bags, but maybe it's even starts to get bigger than that, like thinking about what you consume, right? Maybe you can commit to buying less or upcycling more of your things, driving less, walking more. Because as much as these sun salutations are about like doing something good for yourself, I know that the best I've ever felt in my life is when I'm doing good for other things, for other people. Okay, so kind of like, what is your current level of involvement? And where do you have that opportunity to do a little bit better? I mean, I don't know, and it's not a judgment, right? But it's like buying less fast fashion, or, you know, continuing to like reuse your yoga clothes. You don't need a new outfit every single day. So it's part of this thing that like small changes can have big impacts, but then also I think as like a yogic community, sometimes we're the first people who start to do these sustainable things, and you start doing it and a friend gets curious why you're doing it and you influence them. Okay, so what's your involvement? Could you amp up that level of involvement? Could you teach someone to someone new? And what could you do for the environment? It is our home. Okay, top of your mat, Tadasana. So you wrote that down. You step to the top of your mat, and I really hope you guys that these categories are right. We could have done these like based on the chakras or something, but these are really categories of my life that I would like to look at. I would like to do more for the environment, but until I start like kind of writing it down, measuring it, looking where I could actually have a positive influence, right? Like what gets measured, we can manage. So are you good about like, not using plastic bags, or are you always buying fast fashion? Just be honest. And this sixth set is to really dedicating yourself to doing a little bit, doing maybe a lot more if you can. Release your hands and inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, open, half flat back. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva. Exhale, back. Downward facing dog. Okay, so, and I'm really not saying this stuff to you guys. I'm not trying to like brainwash, but do you eat less meat? Do you have a meatless Monday? Do you, right there's lots of, do you take your clothes and try to upcycle or recycle more, or get really diligent about the recycling that you're doing at your house? How can you live more sustainably? Step forward, top of your mat, inhale, and exhale, fold. Keep rooting down, inhale, rise up. And one, you're there, inhale, open. Exhale, fold. So remember, you're only doing 9 of them. You have kind of like 9 times stepping back to kind of like reflect on this topic, right? Maybe it's not something that you think about on a regular basis, but I think it's really important. Inhale. Exhale, step forward, top of your mat. Inhale here. And exhale, fold. Circle your arms out around and up. Lift all the way to rise. And release. 2. Open. Expand out. Exhale, fold and root down. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, Chaturanga, Dandasana. So even though we're moving a little bit more quickly, you guys, keep the quality, keep the awareness of your movements. Now, I know a lot of you have gone out with me into the streets and picked up trash, right? Maybe you can just commit to, whenever you see trash this year, you just pick it up and you make sure it gets into the proper like recycling things, little things that you could do, even if it's not going to change like climate change and global warming, that it keeps it as something that you're like present, that you're cognizant of your kind of your influence within how you affect the world around you. Step forward, top of your mat, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Plug down, inhale, rise. And exhale, release. That's number 3. Inhale, open. Reaching up and out. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Maybe you're starting to get warmed up again. You can Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Roll over toes, thighs up and back, downward facing dog. Okay, so right, we're all kind of part of this together, remembering, right, this kind of bigger whole picture, stepping out of our small selves, our small little comforts and conveniences sometimes. Step forward, top of your mat, inhale, open, and exhale, fold. Push down, lift all the way to rise, and that's number 4. Inhale, reach. Exhale, head low, hips high, deep breathing, ujjayi breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step or float, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Hips lift, downward facing dog. And I know that if I could like look back on the year 2022 and say that I made some significant changes on like my carbon imprint or being more mindful, I would be really happy, right? So we're trying to look at what would make us feel good by the end of this year. Step forward, top of your mat, inhale, thigh bones back, chest pulls forward, extend, long spine. Exhale, fold in. Root down, rise up, tailbone down, maybe a little squeezing of the glutes, you guys, if it's going into your low back at all, and that's 5. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half flat back. Chaturanga, so the earth below you, right? So use the floor, push. Hips up and back, down dog. Connect to breath, inhale. Exhale. Step or jump. And if you're stepping, can you remember to keep changing out your foot that you step forward with and fold in. Little bend to the knees. Don't forget to use your glutes as you rise up. That's number 6, you guys. Last 3. What does this mean? Kind of right? Like green, abundant, reaching out, open, exhale, fold in, lengthen half flat back, and step or jump, chaturanga. Inhale, use your legs, press through the tops of the feet, root and hips up and back. Okay, this is number 7. You're getting there, you guys, and this is number 6 of our sets, right? So you're almost halfway done. Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale. So this is all about your level of commitment to nature, to the environment. Plug down and reach around to rise. So for our last 2, I like to think about 2. Inhale, reach up. The more I can get out in nature, the more I appreciate it, right? Like the more I want to make sure that I'm part of the solution and not part of the problem. Step back, push the floor. And so maybe this year in 2022, how could you get outside more? Could you appreciate nature? Could you see the beauty in the world around you? And I think when we really kind of tap into that beauty, we don't want to have anything to do with kind of destroying it. And then step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Circle around and up as you lift all the way to rise and release. So this is the last one. Seeing the beauty in the natural world around you, being part of the solution, lift up, exhale, fold in. Inhale, look forward, half flat back. Step back, squeeze in through core, bend elbows, chaturanga. Inhale, urdhva. Push, roll over your toes. Adho, check in with the neck. Make sure that you're not squeezing the shoulders around the base of the neck. Stay soft there. And step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, open. And exhale, fold. Plug down. Reach around, lift all the way to rise. And release. Halfway, you guys are doing great. Take a big step out in one direction. Take a nice wide stance, and then go ahead and fold in. And bend and straighten through your legs here. Okay, take care of the hamstrings, take care of the inner thighs. Yeah, nice if that's starting to get a little bit tight. Work out some of those pressure points. And then I'm gonna start heel toeing my feet closer together. Inhale, lengthen, and then take an Uttanasana. Take your forward fold and hold in there. Dropping your head. Sending some movement into the breath, into the low back. Inhale. Exhale. And then release. Coming down. Okay. Pick up your paper and next section, number 7. Your fears. What is stopping you these days? Sometimes I wish I could just tell you guys all of my fears. I think sometimes like we see people and like, oh, there's nothing that they're afraid of. Their life is, but we all have kind of little fears, things that we're afraid of that we let stop us. Are you somebody who like makes things way worse in your head, right? By feeling like you're either, these 2 words, actually, I use this a lot this year. Either I'm spinning, like I'm going over the same things over and over again, or I'm letting myself feel stuck, right? And not moving beyond it. So this isn't to stress you out. It's to face it with like a sense of curiosity. Why are you afraid? What is making you uncomfortable? And then one of the things that really actually helps me is to think about all the things that I was afraid of last year that never happened, right? And to recognize and realize how much kind of I drained my own energy, my own kind of thought process, and it never came to fruition. So is there something that's holding you back because you feel like you're going to fail, right? You're going to feel like you won't be enough, or someone won't accept this new decision in your life. And you don't have to have a plan. We just want to start to have like a map, right? Like, what is keeping you from starting to take those next steps? For me, a lot of times it's just like, I have this fear of like investment of time and energy and then it not working out the way I want it to. So that's a fear that a lot of times stops me from starting something new. Okay. And then this is actually the important question of this one for me. Who in your life can you hype up? So when I'm having a hard time with my fears, like when I'm struggling to think that like I'm enough or right, that I have enough or all of these things, I instead try to step out of my own way and I try to focus on a friend who I know is facing a fear and I try to hype them up and I try to encourage them. So it's part of this thing about like getting outside of yourself and getting, instead of feeding and spinning in your own thoughts, trying to hype up another person. So this set is dedicated to someone that you'd actually like to, and she's in my mind right now. I know exactly who she is. And when I'm stressed, I call her not to complain or about me, to just remind her how wonderful and fabulous and how I think she can do anything. And by hyping up someone else, you might kind of inspire yourself a bit. Okay, so here we go. You guys, we're more than halfway done. And we'll, I think I've been clear that if you need to take breaks, if you need to take some child's poses, there's there. You could always count how many you missed and do them later today if you wanted to, right? You really want to hit that 108. And here we go. Inhale. And exhale, fold. So for me, a big lesson of fears is surrounding myself, separate jump, chaturanga. Inhale, open, and hips up and back. Downward facing dog is maybe you surround yourself by people who have overcome their fears, who, right, kind of inspire you to not get stuck, and step forward. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Let's take our hands to our hips and put our elbows up and just remind yourself that this is a way that you could come up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Lengthen, extend. Step back, top of your push-up and chaturanga. Inhale, urdhva. Exhale, hips up and back. Downward facing dog. This is number 2. And so, right, we can sometimes get a little bit overwhelmed. We can feel that we kind of like drowned in some of these insecurities, some of these fears. And this is all about what's your plan to kind of swim out of that, to find the next stepping stone to move you forward. Step forward and inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Take your hands to your hips. Please use your glutes as you press to stand. Inhale, open. And exhale, fold in. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. As your heels press back and the head lengthens forward, stay connected through the spine. Inhale, up dog. Hips lift. Downward facing dog. There we go. Good job, Pia, right? So you guys, and you might say like, I'm not afraid of anything, but right, maybe there's a conversation that you've been avoiding that you need to have, or there's some type of task that you need to complete that seems daunting, right? Those are little fears that we just practice overcoming. Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Again, hands to the hips, plug down as you lift to rise. That is number 3. Continue. So you kind of stand in the face of those like adversities, those things that maybe you don't want to look at it, and you kind of shine your light on them, right? As you lower slow through chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, roll over toes, downward facing dog. Right? So it isn't until that we kind of admit or face them that we can start to clear it out as you press. Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale. How's the breath, you guys? Exhale, ujjayi breathing, hands to hips, elbows up. And as we lift to rise, that's number 4. Inhale, squeeze the feet, tone the legs, give yourself support as you fold in here. Lengthen half flat back. Find the top of your push-up, bend elbows, chaturanga. Inhale, full urdhva. Roll over toes, auto. Keep flowing, inhale. You've got this, right? Step forward and lengthen. half flat back, Ardha Uttanasana, and fold in. Hands to hips, elbows up, flat back. And so, right, as we stand here and we go into number 6, inhale, reaching up, it's kind of also that idea that you guys, you have it, you are enough, you're strong enough, right? You can follow through, you can kind of face whatever adversity you need to as you bend your elbows. Inhale, you can always start to take cobras, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step forward, top of your mat. Here we go, lengthen. There you go, Zubair. Exhale, fold in. Hands to hips, elbows up, flat back. And last 3, face those fears. Inhale, you've got this. And exhale, fold in, Uttanasana. Inhale, half flat back. Float through Chaturanga into your Urdhva Mukha. And hips up and back, Adho Mukha. Inhale, press. Exhale, right? So you kind of step with purpose. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, that kind of like trust in yourself as you stand on your legs, hands to hips, and press all the way to rise. Last 2, looks good. Reach up and out of yourself. Exhale, fold in. Remember the other people around you that you could hype, and step back, lower slow. Inhale from the outer hips to the armpits, you lengthen up. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Step forward. Hips are over your heels. Lengthen, look out over the edge of your mat as you fold in. I'm gonna go hands to hips as you lift to stand. Tadasana. Last one. Facing your fears, maybe in your mind, you can either call that person today, you can hype them up, or you can have and do that one thing today that might scare you a little. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Exhale, Chaturanga, Tadasana. So build that strength, lift the heart open, up dog. Downward facing dog. Right. So a lot of times for me, the scary things are just like the conversations. Maybe it's even like asking someone for help, saying that you can't do it all, right? And starting to learn to lean on the people around you. Step forward, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, turn your inner thighs back, that inner spiral of your legs. Go hands to hips if you need it, and press all the way to stand. Good, you guys start to feel like the ball is rolling now. Set number 8. Prosperity is written at the top of my paper. So I think a lot of times, like I'm sure, actually I know most of all of you, that you tend to be really humble, right? None of you are like big arrogant people, but could you write down some things that you're proud of? Right? Like the things in your lives, the successes that you've had. This set is all about like celebrating the small wins. Focusing on all the things that you do really well, like cooking for your family or, mentoring someone at work. What areas in your life do you feel super wealthy? And I think you all know that I'm obviously not talking about monetary wealth, which is also fine, right? Like that's great if you have a business or like circumstances or stuff that are bringing like this material wealth as well. That's right. That's not something that's not a dark side. But like, I know personally that like, I feel incredibly wealthy with my family and friends. Like, I feel like they just bring such a richness, or maybe it's your health. Okay, and then maybe in what areas of your life do you feel like it's a little bit lacking, right? Where you could find a way to bring some more richness. But also for me, there's this word of quality, right? Let's not mistake like quantity of things for like genuine, true quality in your life. Okay. Little other things, to put down. Do you actually have to honor your finances a little bit better? Is there something, right, you've been meaning to kind of get control over? I don't know, last year I was all about learning about cryptocurrency. Maybe you need to make an investment in yourself. Maybe you need to take a training, do some more learning. Okay, because this pod, it's about quality, and it's not just about getting through this next year, 2022. It's about thriving in the new year, healthy, wealthy, and wise. So where are you already prosperous? Where do you already have wealth and quality? And how can we appreciate that a little bit more? Stepping forward, top of your mat. Okay. Pause. So I try to just give you these words, you guys. What does prosperity mean to you? What is quality? And how can we invite and call more of that into our lives? Release your hands. So it's generous. Like there's something about when you're generous, like you receive back. So generous breathing. Inhale. Let it enrich you. Let it fill you up as you exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Please don't forget you can do cobras if you need it. It's not about how many Chaturangas, you guys. It's about the integrity of how you move and the quality and the richness of your breath within the movement. Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. You can take your hands to your hips, but I'm going to lift all the way to rise, stretching up, reaching up and out. And 1. Inhale. Exhale, fold in. Lengthen, half flat back. Remember, you could always go to cat-cows as we move through the vinyasa, if that's more appropriate for you. And then take your hips up and back. Right? So I have that when we live a life of positivity, right? Appreciating what we have, then you will really feel that your life is prosperous, right? That you're so much richness and we're blessed with so many things. Step forward, inhale, lengthen, quality. Exhale, fold. So we don't want to do 108 of these with no intention, right? We want to focus on the quality with which you move as you lift to rise and release. That's number 2. Inhale, generous breath. Keep giving your energy into this movement here as you fold. Lengthen, half flat back. Step it back, gaze slightly forward. Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva. Roll over toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. I think especially during this like year of COVID and everything, we can see that even just being able to step onto the mat, right? That we're all healthy and that we're really blessed with like that richness in that area. Step forward and inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Root down, rise up. Inhale. And exhale, that's number 2. Continue to flow. And fold. Half flat back. Step back, elbows in, lower slow. Focus your eyes. Rich breath. And hips up and back. This is number 3. Step forward, top of your mat, right? We want to start to really be in flow here as you fold. Lift all the way to rise. And release the hands. So as we continue, this is number 4, right? And maybe each one, as you think of all the different successes that you've had, right? Focusing really on like what is going right in your life as you open up here and push your hips up and back, right? Even just the success that you guys are way more than halfway done, that you're doing this as you stretch it forward. Lengthen here. Half flat back. There we go. I'd like to see some of you modifying, right? Because it really is. It's about the quality, not just the quantity that we're doing. That's number 4. Inhale, reach. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold in. Uttanasana. There we go. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, pull forward, up dog. Hips lift, downward facing dog. Inhale. Rich, deep breathing. Take your time. Find the bottom of that exhale and step forward. It is your inhale that floats the heart. It is your exhale that you pour and dive into. Circle the arms around and up. And that's number 5. Let's go 4 more. Prosperous, generous, right? The sense of abundance as you exhale, folds. Lengthen half flat back. Exhale, feel free to step, feel free to start to skip. Chaturangas, you guys, it's about the intention behind this to stay with quality. Inhale, press. Exhale fully. Step forward, top of your mat. The intention behind your movements. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Lift all the way to rise. Rich, deep breath. Look up and release. Last 3. And fold. Listen for that quality of your breath. And step back, bending elbows, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. So I don't just want you guys to like be ticking these off, right? It's about like not just surviving this, but actually thriving as you feel into your body, as you notice your thoughts, like growing your self-knowledge, your self-awareness. Step forward, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana as you rise up and release. Tadasana, last 2. Inhale, belly button is in. Support as you hinge from your hips, folds. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Exhale, Chaturanga, Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Downward facing dog. So maybe you haven't had a ton of huge things, but it's celebrating those small little wins in your life. Maybe it's just celebrating each one of these that you do. One at a time, step forward, inhale, long spine. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, circle your arms around and up. And release. Last one. Yes, generous, prosperous, quality. So you can make this last one here just as focused as your last one. So right, that's what happens in the new year is we start strong and then we kind of filter out. So this is that commitment all the way through. Inhale and hips up and back, downward face as you exhale. Right? Could these actually become your better down dogs, more cleared, more focused on what's going right. Step forward, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. As you root down and you rise up and you reach and you just remember everything, all that wealth that you already have in your life. Tadasana. There we go. So it's my friends, my family, my health, right? Those are the things, like health is the new wealth. I'm sure you guys have heard that. Number 9, connection. For me, connection is about patience. Okay, so that's what I have to build relationships, you guys. It takes time. It takes investment. I have when 2 trees are next to each other, right? Their roots grow together and they support each other to rise up. Who do you feel connected to in your life? Who inspires you? Why do they inspire you? Is there a relationship? Maybe you always think that there's going to be time to work on that connection, right? Like my grandmother is turning 96 years old, right? You don't always have time. Is there someone right now in front of you that you could dedicate this set to, that you want to be connected? They inspire you and you're willing to invest your time, your energy, your patience, right, in building that connection. Okay, and then also it's the people that we're connected to that we become more like, that we start to emulate. And so start to pay attention to, are the people that you're connected to, are they people that you want to be more like in this year? right? In 2022, surround yourself with good people, right? With good intentions, and maybe spend a little less time if there's any relationships there that aren't serving you. Okay. So step to the top of your mat. And many of you know, I did this class on like to have fun in our lives, right? We have to be connected to the moment. We have to be connected to the people with us. Folding your hands in front of your heart center. We will do one salutation to someone that you would like to connect with. And if you can remember, then you guys, I would like for you to send them a text message after this class that just says Happy New Year. And you want to keep those like those bonds, right? And keep investing in them. Hands in front of your heart. So this isn't your family, right? We're going to have time for family. I want this one to be someone that you want to make an extra special, right? That you step out of your kind of regular routine and you remember to call them, email them, go for coffee with them, keep those rich connections in your life. Release your hands. Set number 9, inhale up, exhale, fold, inhale, lengthen, exhale, chaturanga, inhale, up dog, hips up and back, downward facing dog. So I know personally for me, I know that these Zoom calls, they're not the same as like getting to hug or talk to each one of you in person, right? But like FTAL is in Dubai, right? Like, so some of you are in Istanbul, you're spread out in New York, Connecticut, right? So these are like important connections to foster. Step forward as you inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold in. Root down, lift all the way to rise. And that's one. So one person, and I think of the person in my mind, I know exactly who she is. Second one, inhale. I want to keep that connection to that person, and I'm going to focus on that. And I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to call. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step or jump, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog, right? So these are old friends, new friends, work friends, people that keep your life like interesting and rich. Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Push down, lift all the way to rise. So that was number 2. Maybe this third one is someone who inspires you, right? And you want to stay connected to them and learn from them. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. There we go. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, urdhva mukha. Nice. Yes, and there we go. Good job. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Right? So it's kind of the connectedness of everybody on the screen too that can kind of help keep you going. We can lean on people for support and help. Step forward, inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Come on up. 3 done. Let's do our next 3 strongly here. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen and step back. So you want to be able to branch out, right? You want to include more and more people in your life that you're connected to. It will keep your life diverse and interesting as you press. Step forward, top of your mat. It's an inhale to lengthen, and it's an exhale to fold in. Press out, reach to the fingertips all the way up to rise and release. Number 5. Right? And so I want to have at least 5 people, 6 people, 7 people in my life that I stay connected to on a regular basis. Step back and lower slow. Inhale, up dog. Hips up and back, down dog. So maybe it's an old friend, you guys, that you haven't reached out to in a really long time. Don't let like kind of time and space and distance prevent you from like reestablishing important connections in your life. Step forward, inhale here. Nice, Pia. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, root down, rise up and release. Good. Number 6, right? And so a lot of times, you guys, these connections as you fold in, they don't actually take a lot of time, right? But we kind of talk ourselves out of it, right? It doesn't take very much time to just send a WhatsApp message or, right, make a little comment on someone's Instagram post and just let them know that you're thinking about them. Inhale. Exhale. Step forward. Inhale, Urdhva. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold in. Uttanasana, deep forward fold. Circle your arms around and up. Lift all the way to rise. And release. Tadasana, last 3. Connect to the feet, to the hips, to the spine, to the shoulders, to the arms as you reach up. And exhale, flow in. Excellent job, you guys. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Exhale, step or jump, connect to the floor. Use that as support. Right? And so then, you guys, if you're fostering, right, a lot of rich, deep connections in your life, then you have like this network of people who can help you, that you can fall back on, who you can help and use for support. Step forward, top of your mat, inhale here. Exhale, fold in. Circle your arms around and up, lift all the way to rise. And release. And so in Sanskrit, there's a special word for this, and it's your Sangha. Inhale, reach. It's like that community of people, maybe all around the world, right? That you can stay connected to. Length and half flat back. It's so nice. A group of you are doing it with Itzer and our friend, right? So the people who we enjoy spending time with. Hips up and back, downward facing dog, you guys. That's number 8. Pushing the hips up and back. Step forward, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold in. Circle down, around and up, lift all the way to rise, and release. So number 9, and I'd like to be specific about this one, it's about the group here. Everyone slightly connected. Everybody made time and space in their day. They stepped on the mat to do this together. Inhale, reach. Number 9. Exhale, fold in. Deep, meaningful connections, connecting to your breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step back, elbows in, push the floor. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, upward facing. Hips up and back. Adho Mukha, downward facing. Connect to your breath, connect into the body. It's part of being present. Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, shoulders down away from your ears. Excellent. Fold in your connection to the group. Everybody on an inhale breath, rise up and release. Tadasana. Step your left foot back, coming into a lunge, and let's rinse out with a gentle twist. Left elbow outside edge of right knee. You guys, we're about ready to enter into our last pod. Fingertips come forward and down. Step your back foot forward. And right foot steps back, lunge, and right elbow outside edge of left knee, folding in here. So maybe some pressure points. Check in, wrists, neck, core, front of the hips to release, and come back to center. Okay, good. Number 10, 11, 12, and then you're done, and you have all of the rest of the year to focus on this stuff, you guys. So number 10, the older I get, this one, it's so funny how I remember saying this one last year, I didn't really care, and now this one is service. Okay. Because we tend to get the center of our own worlds. We get caught up in our small little dramas. Is there someone in your life that you could be of more service to? Like a girlfriend was just telling me some friends had COVID and she cooked a bunch of food and put it on their doorstep and just rang the doorbell and walked away. What are some small acts of kindness that you could do? But be specific. I try to be, anytime I see a mom pushing a stroller, I try to make sure I grab her door or ask her if I can grab a bag or something. These little things that you could do, they're called small acts of kindness, small acts of service. And I think when I'm focusing on being more of service, I'm not wasting my time doing other non-important things. Right? Service is always kind of it's getting you out into the world, less about your own personal dramas. And then the question that I ask myself is, where could I donate time, money, resources? Where could you offer help? Okay. And then this is there's a service to the outside world, but how can you show more like love and affection and acts of kindness to the people that you love in your life? I don't know. Is it like you always just right away, I don't know, you always wash the dishes, or you take a burden off of someone else? And so service, it's not always going to be easy for you. It's not always going to be comfortable. Right? It might actually make some aspects of your life a little bit harder. You might have to go without, or you might have to spend some time with it. But where could you take the burden off of someone that you love and use it as an act of service to show more love and kindness? Okay. And here we go, set number 10. So you can kind of also see by my these pockets, right? As you step to the top of your mat, and this is number 10. And I think when people are setting their New Year's resolutions, it tends to always be like about them and their self-improvement. Right? But this is my kind of, I want you guys to step out of that and do something more for others. Small acts of kindness. Release your hands. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Lengthen half flat back. Exhale, step back. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Hips up and back. Downward facing dog. I have a list. It's 3 pages long. I add to it every year. And it's people that I'm committed to checking in on. And it's just simple little things that's part of that connection. And it's a little simple things of saying like, hey, what can I do? What's going on? Right? Where could you maybe like lend a helping hand? Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift all the way to rest. And exhale, release. In total, you guys, you only have 26 more, okay? All right, a lot of them are behind you. As you fold in, lengthen half flat back and step back to lower slow. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Like I know for me that it would be a beautiful year if I said that if I knew by the end of the year, I helped lessen someone's burden, right? If you help someone through a hard time, a difficult time, as you step forward, top of your mat, inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold in. Lift all the way to rise as you come on up. And that's number 2. Here we go. Continue. Inhale. Keep layering, you guys. So you have quality, you have breath, have that connectedness as you inhale, open, and step back, lower slow. Inhale, shoulder blades back down and together. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. And step forward, lengthen and fold. Circle your arms around and up, lift all the way to rise and release. So it's little things, you guys, like someone took care of my plants over the summer, right? Or maybe you offer to pick someone up from the airport. They don't have to be huge things as you fold in, but these tiny little things, holding someone's door, offering to pick up groceries, babysitting someone's kid for a couple hours, taking their dog for a walk, right? Little ways that you can be of service. This is number 4. Inhale, press. Exhale, step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, open. And exhale, fold. And so I think of this as a big one, you guys, as you circle around and up and you lift to rise, because it's in the yoga, like because of karma, right? Inhale, reach up, and exhale, fold. It's like what you put out there in the world, right? You get back. So if you're doing things for other people, like there's this retribution that comes back and enriches your life. Inhale, open, slide the hips up and back. This is number 5, you guys. Your hips are up and back. Inhale, press. Exhale, step forward, top of your mat, lengthen it out. Exhale, fold in. Reach the arms out and around as you lift all the way to rise. And standing firmly in Tadasana, number 6, reach up. Exhale, bow in. Lengthen, half flat back. And step or jump, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva. Exhale, hips up and back. Auto, right? So how could you contribute more? Right? This kind of like collective consciousness. Maybe when you do more acts of service, I'm sure you guys all remember that idea. Just like keep paying things forward. Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold and squeeze that out. Circle the arms around and up as you lift to rise. And release. You have 3 more. Being creative. How could you be of more service? I don't know, maybe you bring a cup of coffee to somebody, or you take them for breakfast, somebody who just needs a little bit of help, and you lengthen forward, step back, Chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale. And remember that last question I asked. How could you, like, I know a lot of times we mean to be more helpful, but this is like about putting it into action, to really showing it, not just talking about it or thinking about it, but actually doing it. Step or jump. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Exhale, fold in. Lift all the way to rise. The inhale breath sweeps you up as you look up, and you release. So this last 2. Yoga is about putting your intention into action. How can you be of more service? Reach up, exhale, fold, right? And so probably most of you know that karma means action. And step back, lower slow, Chaturanga. Inhale, it doesn't have to be easy, right? But it will have nice payoffs, nice benefits as you help others. Inhale, press. Exhale, step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift all the way to rise. And exhale, release. Yeah, I know. I think you guys are doing okay. It's a victory. Yay. Are you guys doing okay? It's all right if your camera is off. Last 2. I know we go a little bit over, you guys, but hopefully that's okay. You guys okay? Yep. All right. So for me, you guys, these last 2, they actually go quite quickly because this one is gratefulness. For the 9 of them that we do, we're going to dedicate each one to something different that we're grateful for. But to inspire you, there is this girl, and she has for 4 years consecutively wrote down, she's 14 years old now. She writes down 14 things a day that she's grateful for, and she's never repeated in 4 years. So that's amazing. Like, because when I do it, I'm like, I'm grateful for my family, and I'm grateful for this blah, blah, blah thing that happened today. But could you imagine, you guys, how it would change your life if all day long you were just looking for 14 new things to be grateful for? It sets such a different tone. You look for the gratefulness of, like, I don't know, the traffic light turns green when you need it to, right? You would be so much more creative and see how there's so much more abundance around you to be grateful for. Okay, so this is simple. If something comes to your mind, right? If you don't have a gratitude journal, maybe this is the year that you start it. It can be as simple as only 3 things a day, right? You don't need more than that, but try to make it something consistent. So this is for gratefulness, appreciation, the blessings that you have in your life. And I'm going to shift mine a little bit this year, you guys, and I'm going to try never to repeat right? Because I want to see just like all the, I think I'll get a little bit more down into even the more subtle details. Step forward to the top of your mat. Okay, step number 11. Hands in front of your heart center. So this might seem weird to you, but this first one is dedicated to the most difficult person in your life. The person that this year really challenged you. Okay, and the reason why I want to start with this is because we want to learn to appreciate the good, the bad, the obstacles, the challenges, all of the circumstances, not having preference for one over the other, right? But instead learning from all of them. So this first one, dedicated to someone that challenges you, and appreciating them for giving you the opportunity to look from a different perspective. Release your hands. Inhale. Exhale. So maybe they made you uncomfortable. Maybe they frustrated you. Maybe it's even a lot deeper than that as you step back. Chaturanga. Inhale. Upward facing dog. Hips lift. Up and back. Downward facing dog. But because of that challenge, it's maybe giving you an opportunity to reflect, to change perspective, to grow into some new capacity. So this is number one, person that challenges you. Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, fold. Circle your arms around and up. And so you appreciate that life lesson as you release. Hands in front of the heart. Number two, the thing that did not happen this year. Okay, so a lot of things, it's what we don't get, like, okay, I didn't get COVID. I'm pretty grateful for that. Okay, it's the things that maybe didn't happen, the wish that didn't end up coming true, but because of that, something else did. Release your hands. Inhale. And exhale, fold in. For the things that maybe did not happen, but create a different void, a different space in your life because of it. Bend your elbows, lower slow. Inhale, please pull forward, up dog. Roll over your toes. Downward facing dog. Right, there's this country song like, thank God for all the unanswered prayers, because sometimes it's things when only as we want them, we would miss out on so many other things. Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. And exhale, fold in. Circle the arms around and up. Lift all the way to rise. Excellent work, you guys. That's number two. Okay, hands in front of the heart. And this is the last one with this kind of connotation. Did you have one failure this year? One thing that you truly did not succeed at? And can you see that now as an opportunity, right, to try again? Release your hands. Inhale. Right? Kind of fresh start, new beginning. Maybe it didn't work out for you this year, but you can reflect, renew, step back, lower slow, and continue to maybe turn some of those failures into a fresh start, a new beginning as you press back. Inhale. Open up the breath here, you guys. Exhale, keep that awareness and step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Please exhale, fold in. Circle your arms out around and up, lift all the way to rise. And release. Okay, so these next three, they're pretty straightforward. Close your eyes, hands in front of your heart. Dedicate this one to a family member that you're grateful for. Maybe it's a person in your life that actually makes the space for you to be able to do yoga, for you to be able to have time, right? To have these like pockets of self-reflection, releasing your hands. Inhale. So for someone in your family that you are truly grateful for, and maybe when you finish this, you could go give them a hug and thank them for all the power, all the magic they kind of bring into your life as you push your hips up and back. the gratefulness that we have for these relationships. Inhale, press. Exhale, step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Nice job. Good. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, lift all the way to rise. And release. And so I just keep folding my hands and putting my heart center and just put a little bit more intention in front of it. And now, number 5, it can be, right, maybe a teacher or like a friend, right? Somebody that you just feel really grateful that they're in your life. Thinking about their name, clearly seeing that person and offering up your gratitude. Inhale. Exhale, fold in. Make it really clear in your mind's eye that you appreciate them in your life, that you know that they're a blessing as you press back and lower slow. Inhale, find your upward facing dog. Hips lift, up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale. All right, keep appreciating your breath, your body as we flow through these. Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold in. Nice modifications. Feel good. Inhale, lift all the way to rise. And release. Tadasana. Hands fold in front of your heart center. Okay. Now, if you have a pet, right, this can be a great one. If you have like some children in your life or grandchildren, you guys probably don't have any grandchildren here at this point, or just someone or something that brings like a smile to your face. Those things that you delight in, someone who every time you see them, the pet, the dog, the cat, it just makes you feel light around your heart, right? We appreciate that we have those things in our lives. Inhale, reach, and exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Exhale, step back, lower slow, chaturanga. Inhale, pull forward, up dog. Hips lift, up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale. If nothing else, you guys at least have an appreciation for the quality, for your breath here that's getting you through this. Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Circle around and up as you lift to rise. Hands to heart. So for a big thing for me about gratefulness is just remembering to maybe find the silver lining in your life, all the places that we actually have to be content. Release your hands. This one to a body part, right? So I know a couple of you, we've had some injuries this year, right? So appreciating the body, maybe something specifically, but that it's able to move and get you through these. Inhale. Right? Feel the skin, feel the bones, feel the muscles. This is your home as it moves through space. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step or jump, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Hips lift, downward facing dog. Right? So this really is your home as you move through your life and having a gratefulness for it. Press and step forward, taking care. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Exhale, fold in Uttanasana. Circle your arms out around, really reach, gather that energy up, and then pull it down into your heart. Close your eyes. Number 8, okay? I'm going to dedicate this one for the gratefulness that I have to some really good experiences that I had this year. Right? So did you have a new experience, a fun experience, right? And we kind of, my word for 2022 is going to be having more fun in my life. So remember who you were with, what you were doing when you were having fun this year, and that we're grateful for it. Release your hands, inhale, reach. Right? Life can be like kind of heavy in it sometimes, remembering all that like lightness in the heart, lengthen half flat back, and exhale, hop, step or float, chaturanga. Inhale, urdhva. Exhale, hips up and back, Adho. Do you guys realize that you only have 10 more? You have 1 more left in this set, and then you have your last 9. Regather, regroup. Who knows, maybe this will be the first fun thing that you do all year. Finishing your first 108, step or jump, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Looking amazing. Nice commitment, you guys. Press down, lift all the way to rise. and release. Hands in Anjali Mudra. Okay, in this last one of the things that I'm grateful for, it's this yoga lineage. Yoga has changed my life. It's changed my perspective, my relationships, the way I see the world. It's this constant tool, this thing to fall back on. And I really can't imagine my life without it. Okay, so last one of the things that we are grateful for, that we are part of this lineage and that we continue to move it forward. Release your hands. Surya Namaskara A, right? They used to face the sun, being grateful for the next day, for the next opportunity as you fold in. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, open, right? You feel the sun on your face, appreciating the new day. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale. Gratitude, abundance, appreciation, blessings, whatever that means to you in your life, remember it. And step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Plug down, reach all the way to rise. And release. Okay, well, I'm smiling. I'm happy. We're down on number 12. Hopefully it hasn't been too painful for you guys. Number 12, big, bold letters. If you don't put it down, it's going to be very hard to accomplish it. What is your purpose for 2022? And I want it to be one word. I remember my last word, you guys, last year was clarity. Okay, so I can share that with you. I know that my word for this year, and it doesn't have to mean anything to you, but it is fun, right? Because of the things that happen when I'm having fun. I'm happy, I'm content, I'm connected, I'm in flow, I'm playful, right? So for me, that's the word, because I want this to become your mantra. We're going to do this last one more in silence as you just over and over again inhale that word. Okay. So here's a quote. Maybe it will help you. I know many of you have heard this before, but the two most important days of your life are the day you were born and the day you figure out why. So what is going to be your why for 2022? Because when I have a word, then it helps me make decisions. I'm going to be like, that's not fun. That doesn't make my heart smile. That doesn't light up my life. So I'm not going to do it. Right? Or maybe if your word is clarity, right? I read more, right? I tried to understand some different things. Okay. And then what are the things that you can do this year to give yourself permission to follow your heart? How can you keep surrendering, right? Can you keep saying, I don't know, I want to be curious, and I'm going to let this word guide me. Okay, so this permission to follow your heart this year with this word, and you keep it locked in your heart. Maybe it's contentment, right? You're going to focus on not complaining, just whatever life hands you, you're going to be content. I don't want to influence you too much, but you guys, our time is not refundable. Okay, you don't get this year back, you don't get these days back, you don't get these sun salutations back. So this is to give your life purpose and meaning. Step forward. Last one. You've done excellent. So with your hands in front of your heart center, close your eyes. Yoga Sutra 2.1. It says our focus is supposed to be skill and action. So you guys are going to put that word, that purpose into action. Like if I were watching you do these, I would see, right? Maybe your word is joy or purpose, you know, doing it. I want your body to physicalize it. So put your word into action. You do it with tapas, you do it with heat, you do it with dedication, you do it with determination. And then you also, the last element, you guys, is you do it with a sense of kind of wonder, a sense of curiosity. Inhale. Exhale, last 9. Inhale, think your word. So like I'm going to literally go, I am fun. Think your word, make it your mantra. Inhale, I am. Exhale, find your word as you lower slow. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha, up dog. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Maybe even out loud, you say 1. Step forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Use these ones wisely, you guys. Set the tone, set the rhythm for the year to come as you reach up and release. Don't forget your word. Take it with you. Inhale. Exhale, fold. I think it like infuses your mind. It starts to permeate your body. It permeates your thoughts, your words, your actions. Step or jump, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva, up dog. Hips lift, downward facing dog. That is number 2. Inhale. Exhale, keep bringing your mind back to that magnet of your mantra. Inhale, lengthen half flat back. Exhale, fold and keep the momentum going as you inhale, lift to rise. And exhale, release. Inhale. Right? So I really have this feeling that you try to like express it out, right? The more strongly you are connected to that word as you lower slow, right? It's going to have more power, more influence in your life as you step back. 3, inhale. Exhale. Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold in. Circle down and around as you lift all the way to rise. And release, right? It starts to feel good. Keep that going. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Continuous movement. Let things flow out of your life that you don't need. Surrender to what you don't know and refocus on what you want more of this year. Hips up and back. That is number 4. Inhale. Exhale. Step forward, top of your mat, lengthen, stay long through the sides of your neck as you fold in. Circle the arms around and up, lift all the way to rise and release. Last 5, inhale. Exhale, fold, head low, sitting bones high. Inhale, lengthen, half flat back. Step or jump, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Hips press up and back, downward facing dog. So giving yourself permission this year to really follow this. Let it be your kind of North Star, that thing that guides you through the year. Step forward, top of your mat. It's going to keep you on your path as you inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Circle the arms out, around, and up. Lift to rise. So you guys, I really did this last year. My word was clarity, and I thought about it in July. I thought about it in August, right? And it kind of kept that momentum. Open up. Exhale, leading with your heart. Fold in. Uttanasana. Inhale to lengthen, half flat back. Exhale, Chaturanga, Tadasana. Inhale, pull forward, up dog. Roll over toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. That is number 6. Exhaling, shake the head out, let it go. What can we surrender more to? Step forward, top of your mat. Inhale and exhale. Push down, lift all the way to rise. Release, last 3. And so this really means a lot to me, right? That your time is not refundable, right? Be rich, be present in the moment. Inhale, open. And exhale, fold in. Lengthen, half flat back. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, back, down dog. Connect with your why. Why do you do what you do? What is going to motivate you this year? That is number 7. Look where you want to land. Have your focus. Inhale, open. And exhale, fold. Plug down, lift all the way to rise, right? And so a lot of this is about that follow through all the way to the end. Inhale, open. Exhale, fold. Honoring the beginning, the middle, the end. Inhale, half flat back. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, right? Try to make these last 2, not just getting through it, not just thrive, or not just surviving through it, but really thriving, refocus on that quality. That is number 8, you guys. Number 107, bend the knees, look forward, step or jump. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, fold. Circle the arms out around and up. Lift all the way to rise. Hands down in front of the heart center, you guys. You connect your thumbs to your heart, but you infuse this heart quality into your actions, your words, and your thoughts as you move through the rest of the year. Release your hands. 108. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. So there's this pulsation in your life. You open to it, you respond, you expand, you connect as you push back. Downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, fully let go of anything you don't want to take with you. Take it out. Step or jump, top of your mat. Inhale, open. And exhale, fold. Inhale, smile across the heart, smile through the lips, smile through the eyes as you reach up and release. Tadasana. So nice, you guys. It makes me smile. Take your feet wide. Bend the knees, drop your hips, sit down in love. Fingertips back behind you as you bring the bottoms of your feet together. And you drop back onto your elbows as you lie all the way down for Supta Baddha Konasana. So the name of this pose, everyone, it's also referred to as goddess pose. It's supposed to be this pose of like fertility. And I don't just mean like sexual fertility. I mean that like what you plant grows. So the seeds that you plant and then manifest and come into fruition in your life this year. And as you're ready, open and extend your legs for Shavasana. If you have like your crystal or anything, if you'd like to put it on your heart center, right, that can be a nice way if you just want to hold it in your hand. I know I've done a lot of, talking at you guys to try to keep you in the moment. But all of that also was the repetitive movement was to get you unstuck, to kind of clear out whatever was hanging on or you're holding on to. And let this Shavasana really be that kind of final clearing out of the past year to make way for the new year with more clarity and intention. Your breath. So obviously, guys, I went over the time, so I don't want to hold you because I know you have things to move on to. But if you do have more time to meditate or journal, or even just kind of stay quiet in some self-reflection, this could be a really good time. And then you'll wiggle your fingers and you'll wiggle your toes as you stretch your arms up and over. And then bending your knees. Roll to your right as you press up to find seated. With your hands folded in front of your heart center, you guys, these are not step-by-step instructions on how to live a fuller life. This was a map. These are stepping stones. So throughout the year, whenever you feel yourself getting stuck or you need some new sense of focus, maybe you could drop into one of these 12 buckets, right? Think about your relationship and how you're relating it into your life and keeping you from either spinning and not moving forward or feeling stuck. So with your hands folded in front of your heart center, eyes closed, let's remember the thumbs connected to the heart, your word, your purpose. And then as you take your thumbs to your lips, as you speak this year, as you build connection and relationships, can your words, right, be infused with that quality? And then taking your thumbs to your third eye, may your thoughts, may your actions, may your deeds be filled with that quality. Bring the thumbs back down to your heart. We'll seal class with an Om. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Oh. Taking your thumbs to your third eye to bow forward and seal your practice. Jai, Tadasana.